Hi all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this week's video is, well, it's early because it's on a Thursday instead of Monday, and it's a bit different. So it's early because I'm flying off to Thailand again on Sunday and I cannot wait. Both me and my partner are super excited. And also this video is a bit different because it's just kind of like an accumulation of random bits of artwork that I haven't really fitted into any particular like weekly vlog or anything like that. And I just thought before I'm going, I'm just going to kind of use up those little snippets that I've got, chuck them into one video, and then just kind of do like a little overview of how everything's been going in this past month of February. And maybe try and do this like maybe once a month, where it's like kind of like a month in review of how I felt my artwork has gone and things like that, maybe, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get straight to it, and fingers crossed you like it. Okay, so starting this video off is me working in my small sketchbook, which is the first time I've actually videoed or well, yeah, recorded anything of me working in my small sketchbook. But as of today, the 24th of February, the day I'm recording this voiceover, I have actually finished that sketchbook completely, and so that will be a sketchbook tour, which will be the next couple of videos coming up after this one. But starting off the beginning of February, well, this is the 6th of February, as you can see from the date in the corner. I was having a couple of days off from leaving my old job to starting my new job, and I was enjoying being able to do some artwork and just catching up with family and things like that. And it was really needed because, as you saw from the last weekly vlog, towards the end of January, I was really stressed out, had hardly any motivation to be doing any artwork, and just couldn't really force myself to do anything, or I was having to force myself to try and do some artwork, but then it wasn't turning out right, and it was just a lot of stress. So this first week of February I really did just relax, and up until the 10th I had time off just to be able to catch up with some artwork and just go out and enjoy myself and just give myself a breather from all of the stress that I had been dealing with. So that's why we have some really just playful derpy fish on this one. I did pre-sketch it out and then decided actually I wanted to film the process of this, because why not? And I did start off with some just standard acrylic paint and then going in with my Posca pens. I said on the last weekly vlog I've actually got back into using my Posca pens, which is still true even now at the end of February. I'm still really enjoying using my Posca pens just for those little added details. They layer up over pretty much anything, so they just work really well. So yeah, that you'll see me using quite a lot of these throughout, I think, the whole of this video. All the artwork that I'm working on, I actually do use these Posca pens. But yeah, so I enjoyed this day, just like fun and relaxed to start off the month of February, and yeah. Now moving on to this piece. So this piece is actually the twin to the one I was working on in the last weekly vlog on the 28th of January. Now I'd done 3 faces during that vlog, and as you saw I literally only showed the process of 2 of the faces just because I was so fed up with everything that I was really lazy and sloppy with the paint, didn't really focus on what I was doing at all, and so it really wasn't the best quality. So I decided 2 weeks later on the 12th of February that I was going to sketch them out and finish off this spread. And I wanted to do 2 larger faces, one with a smile, with, well, a teethy smile, just because I'm not very good at drawing teeth, so I wanted to practice that. And also one of a more side profile angle, because again, side profiles are something that I am still trying to work on. But I decided on the 12th that, you know, I'm going to do this because I wanted to show myself. I've had pretty much 2 weeks of zero stress, and comparing that stressful mindset and the whole just lack of motivation and forcing myself to do art, to then 2 weeks later being in a job that's much more relaxed, enjoying myself, I wanted to see how that change would show in my artwork. So I sketched them out on the 12th, and then on the 14th is when I'm adding in the watercolour, again using that same travel set just because I wanted to keep consistency. And yeah, it's made such a difference. Even that 2 weeks, the reason why I filmed this part, it wasn't even intentionally to go into this video, it was literally just because I wanted to show myself the difference that 2 weeks of no stress can make on my mindset and therefore my artwork. And it was really nice looking at this and seeing that difference, because I was getting quite upset, feeling like, oh, I'm so rubbish at artwork, I'm not being able to do anything, you know, I'm losing all of the skills that I've taken time to learn and like trying to progress on. And then doing this and then comparing it to the video footage from my weekly vlog, you can see the difference. Like, you can see the care that I'm putting in. It's nowhere near as loose and sloppy. I'm letting each layer dry before I then start putting on more colour, so that it's not running into each other anywhere near as much. And it was just a much better process. So for that, I think it's a big thing to show that, you know what, even just 2 weeks getting away from that stress, the difference that it made for me is huge. So I wanted to keep this piece in because I wanted to kind of really show that literally from January to February there has been such a massive change in my mindset and how I am approaching things, just because I've got rid of that work stress that was just, it was just too much. And now I'm in a job which is a lot more relaxed, a lot more supported in, and that's allowed me to relax in myself, meaning I can do a lot better artwork, which this piece was really nice to prove that even just 2 weeks has made a big difference. So yeah, a bit of a ramble about that, but that's kind of how February has been, of just improving and relaxing. So this final one I actually did last night on the 23rd of February, and I wanted to do a piece where I didn't use any reference. So since the 17th of February, I put up an Instagram post, which I'll try have an image here, of me doing two faces side by side, one with reference and one without reference. And the one without reference, I only spent 10 minutes doodling it, but you could clearly see that the area from the nose and mouth, and I did actually circle it and when I put it up on the Instagram part as well, is something that I really need to work on. It just wasn't in proportion at all, and it just made the whole face seem ridiculous. And then the one with reference I spent half the time doing, and obviously was a lot better in proportion wise. So that kind of made me then want to spend the following week not using any reference. I did use reference a couple of times for some full figure drawings, just because full figure drawings are something I'm really starting to enjoy doing, but I still need help with reference on those. But when it came to faces, I was trying to use hardly any references for any of the artwork, just because I really want to improve that. Now, don't get me wrong, I do agree references are a really good idea. They're a great way to make sure your proportions are all in line and everything, but I wanted to be able to practice not using reference. So for those times when I've got an idea in my head and I can't be bothered to take a photo of myself, or I'm struggling to find what I want, I've got the muscle memory on how a face proportion should be to then be able to work from that and get that put into place. So there is still things I need to work on, which I'll talk about as we get to it. But for now, I wanted to talk about this little background that I was doing. So as you saw, I used my paint palette and just some standard acrylic paint to literally do some spreads of paint across the page, and then I go on top with my Posca pens, adding in the little dots and this leafy foliage effect. Now, I've done quite a few spreads of this in my little sketchbook. They're really nice things to do when you've got a headache and you just want to relax after a long day. They just kind of help clear your mind, and I really enjoyed it. And when I went into doing this piece, I knew that I wanted to do no reference, but I had no idea of what I actually wanted to do. And I kind of wanted a piece that sums up February. And for me, that is relaxation. It's been quieting my mind. So I decided to do a piece with her. It's almost like a portrait, because it's just like quiet, you know, just relax. And then I wanted a background or like something over the top of it that signifies it, and that's where this foliage loose background comes from. I love these colours anyway, I find them really calming as it is, and I decided I didn't want to do black because it was too harsh and contrasted, so I used blue for the rest of the portrait. Although here, now that the blue's on there, you can really see that the right side of the face isn't quite in line, and that is because I was using no reference. But again, that's something I'm going to work on. But yeah, for me, this piece sums up February. It's been a really good time just to relax and get back to a calmer state of mind compared to how it was in January, and that's been very needed. Okay, so that's it. I know it was a bit of a random video, but again, hopefully you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you do like it, please press that thumbs up button and subscribe. It really does help the channel out, and I really appreciate everyone that does actually subscribe and watch these videos. But that's it for now. So it's going to be a little bit of a pause between now and then when I get back from Thailand. So I believe the next video will be up on the 9th of March. So yeah. Fingers crossed all goes okay. Yeah, I'll catch you then after a lovely holiday.